The human brain is incredibly adaptable. It changes throughout our lives. This ability to change is called brain plasticity. Our experiences shape our brains. Learning strengthens some connections between brain cells. It weakens others. Early childhood is a time of rapid brain development. During this time, a process called synaptic pruning takes place. Synapses are the connections between brain cells. During pruning, unnecessary connections are removed. This makes the brain more efficient. Think of it like pruning a tree. You trim away dead branches so the healthy ones can flourish. Similarly, synaptic pruning helps the brain focus its resources on the most important connections. This process is influenced by our experiences and environment. Brain plasticity continues throughout life, though it's most pronounced in our early years. This means we can keep learning and growing throughout our lives. Our brains are constantly adapting to new information and experiences. Neurons are the building blocks of the brain. These specialized cells are responsible for transmitting information throughout the body. They communicate with each other through electrical and chemical signals. Neurons have a unique structure. They have a cell body, dendrites, and an axon. The dendrites receive signals from other neurons. The axon transmits signals to other neurons. The connection between two neurons is called a synapse. At the synapse, chemicals called neurotransmitters are released. Neurotransmitters carry the signal from one neuron to the next. This complex network of neurons and synapses allows us to think, feel, and experience the world around us. It's a remarkable system that highlights the intricate workings of the human brain. The brain is not a uniform mass. It is divided into distinct regions. Each region has its own specialized functions. The cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. It is responsible for higher-level thinking, such as language, memory, and reasoning. The cerebellum is involved in movement and coordination. The brainstem controls basic life functions such as breathing and heart rate. Within the cerebrum, different lobes have specific roles. The frontal lobe is responsible for planning and decision-making. The parietal lobe processes sensory information. The temporal lobe is involved in hearing and language. The occipital lobe processes visual information. This division of labor allows the brain to perform complex tasks efficiently. It's like a well-organized company, with each department handling a specific aspect of the business. Our senses allow us to experience the world around us. Our brains play a crucial role in processing sensory information. Specialized receptors in our sense organs detect stimuli. These stimuli are then converted into electrical signals that travel to the brain. The eyes detect light and send signals to the occipital lobe, where they are interpreted as images. The ears detect sound waves and send signals to the temporal lobe, where they are processed as sounds. The tongue has taste buds that detect different tastes. The nose has receptors that detect different smells. The skin has receptors that detect touch, pressure, temperature, and pain. All of this sensory information is integrated in the brain, creating a cohesive perceptual experience. It's a testament to the brain's ability to process vast amounts of information simultaneously. Section 5, the puppet master, brain and movement. Movement may seem effortless, but it's a complex process that relies heavily on the brain. The brain sends signals down the spinal cord to the muscles, instructing them to contract or relax. The motor cortex, located in the frontal lobe, is responsible for planning and executing movements. The cerebellum helps to coordinate movements and maintain balance. The basal ganglia, a group of structures deep within the brain, also play a role in movement. They help to initiate and control voluntary movements. Damage to any of these areas can result in movement disorders, highlighting the critical role of the brain in our physical abilities. Section 6. Memories, a tapestry of time. Memory is a complex process that involves many different parts of the brain. There are different types of memory, each with its own storage and retrieval mechanisms. Short-term memory, also known as working memory, holds information for a short period. Long-term memory stores information for longer periods, even a lifetime. The hippocampus, a seahorse-shaped structure in the temporal lobe, is essential for forming new memories. The amygdala, also in the temporal lobe, is involved in emotional memories. Memories are not stored in a single location, but are distributed throughout the brain. They are networks of connections shaped by our experiences. Section 7. Brain waves and awareness. The brain is constantly active even when we're asleep. This activity can be measured as brain waves using an electroencephalogram or EEG. Different brain wave patterns are associated with different states of consciousness. For example, alpha waves are present during relaxed wakefulness, while delta waves are characteristic of deep sleep. Attention is the ability to focus on specific stimuli while ignoring others. It is essential for learning and memory. The prefrontal cortex, the CEO of the brain, plays a crucial role in attention. Arousal refers to the overall level of alertness and responsiveness. It is regulated by the reticular activating system, a network of neurons in the brainstem. Section 8. The chemical symphony, hormones and the brain. Hormones are chemical messengers that travel through the bloodstream. They influence various bodily functions, including brain activity. The hypothalamus, a small but mighty structure in the brain, controls hormone release. It acts as a link between the nervous system and the endocrine system. Hormones can influence mood, sleep, appetite, and even our stress response. For example, cortisol, a stress hormone, can impact memory and attention. The interplay between hormones and the brain highlights the interconnectedness of our biological systems. It's a delicate dance that influences our physical and mental well-being. Section 9. When the mind malfunctions. Understanding mental disorders. Mental disorders are conditions that affect mood, thinking, and behavior. They can have a significant impact on a person's life. These disorders often involve imbalances in brain chemistry or disruptions in neural circuits. Genetic factors, environmental stresses, and life experiences can all contribute to their development. Common mental disorders include depression, anxiety disorders, schizophrenia, and bipolar disorder. Each disorder has its own set of symptoms and requires specialized treatment approaches. Research is ongoing to better understand the underlying causes of mental disorders and develop more effective treatments.